I'm Turk Strongman, current resident at Mind Voltage. Let's talk briefly about learning in life in connection with skepticism. Before I continue, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, now's your chance. Go ahead, do it right now. That way you can at the same time activate the notification bell feature to be apprised of our new uploads. Additionally, immediately below this media player window, you will find the thumb up icon. Go ahead, click on that to instantly and easily share the joy of this channel with others. And finally, just a little further down in the video description area, you will find donation by PayPal information. Please make a note of it. Let's go. Learning in life in connection with skepticism. Psychologists will tell you that there are a variety of ways that people learn in life. I don't know which category this falls under. It might be something of its own. We come to a point sometimes, hopefully, when we have pulled away from a degree of something in our thinking, you know. One of our modes of thinking that we might call healthy skepticism. And there probably is such a thing. But I believe the majority of the time when people use that term, healthy skepticism, what they're really denoting is not such a healthy thing. And pulling away from that would be dropping that off and being more open to information. Not gullible, more open. All right. Often, this thing that people often refer to as healthy skepticism, as in, well, I'm just engaging in a bit of healthy skepticism. Often, what's really going on is closed-mindedness. Largely due to a fear of feeling or being considered by others gullible. I mean, that's one of the main things, Other than, that person doesn't want to be wrong or doesn't want to be frowned on by other people for being, a foolhardy person, a fool, but gullible like a sucker. As all men know, there's a sucker born every minute, right? And it's a crime it's a crime to not separate a man from his money, or a fool from his money, right? It's a good requirement. It's just a sucker, right? Nobody wants to be a sucker, right? That's just being stupid. That's being, a spring chicken. Green. Okay. So, a lot of people tend to, with this as the, at least, semi-conscious main reason for closed-mindedness. That's a biggie. Not wanting to be seen as a sucker. So, let me give you an example now. Let's say, I make first mention to somebody about child sexual trauma abuse for the purposes of mind control. Just that, okay? No qualifications to it. We'll just leave it like that, right there. And the person says, I don't want to hear this shit. That doesn't happen. No, stop. Just stop. I don't have time for this. No, that's bullshit. what a person then will tend to do, the person who calls bullshit on it, will tend to give it no further thought. And the person will say, if asked in terms that, bring about this kind of verbiage, the verbiage will take the direction of just exercising a bit of healthy skepticism here. No, it's just not accepting new information. That's all it is. And the implication here, very, very explicit implication, is that you, with bullshit, are very gullible if you believe such shit. You're just stupid. You're not using your head, right? I'm not going to be like you. So I'm calling this off right here. I'm not even going to go there. It's not worth my time. It's not worth acknowledging. It's that stupid, ignorant, foolish, no brain, all right, gullible. Person may be even less likely to listen to the guy who allegedly spewed out this bullshit one day ever again. Well, you got to take what he says with a grain of salt, man. He's a little in the head. He's a box of rocks, and a few of the rocks are missing from the box of my life. Oh, man. Okay, so to move out of that is a form of learning in itself. It's a step in learning how to learn more in life. Now, what about this guy who called bullshit on the child sexual abuse thing? Right? Trauma-based mind control. What if the guy who called bullshit on that starts running into this information time and time again now? Suddenly it's just coming at him, right? He just keeps running into it. And with enough repetition, and maybe enough of the people that person considers, he considers that they know what they're talking about, they start talking about it. Well, now, the person who called bullshit is inwardly, in very inner, fleeting recognition, is a fool. Probably won't go as far as considering that up to that point, you've been gullible for a different point of view. That's not accurate. Probably not going to go that far in recognizing this. But might feel like made a fool out of himself by calling it bullshit in front of this guy. Says, but hey, that's just one person and it doesn't matter. Admitting to being wrong? Nah. Apologizing? Nah. Not even going to remember it probably for very long. So, folks. Oh, another thing that's going to happen with this guy who called bullshit, after that fleeting thought, made a fool out of myself. Okay, but no big deal. I'm not really a fool. So it's no big deal. I'm not a fool. I'm just going to start to believe it. Might even get interested in it. Look a few things up for himself. Could have found that out in the first place if given the person who was saying this the benefit of the doubt and saying, oh, that's interesting. I'd like to look into that a little bit myself. That's interesting. And if that's really the case, that's a very serious matter. I'll take your word for it, and I'll look into it myself too. But for right now, I'll take your word for it so that I can go on and learn a little more myself. That's not being gullible. There's your healthy skepticism. It's a desire for evidence. It's a mood of investigation, learning. It's not being gullible. It's not being stupid. It's not being foolish. It's being open to learning more in life. And about life. By way of life. If something is new information, it doesn't fit into what your current matrix of beliefs are, and it's a bit outside of them, that is something that should, if a person doesn't have their little false ego involved over fear of being considered gullible or feeling like a fool for a fleeting moment, that should then be something of great interest. It would be. Right away. Oh, that's totally different than everything. Oh, well, now that's interesting. That gets my attention. That's an attention grabber. I'll look into that. For myself. Thanks for tipping me off. Right? And if found to be incorrect information, then that will have been learned rather than just assumed. It will be something a little more self-discovered, and what things had to be learned in that process to get there, in doing this bit of investigation for oneself, will be added to one's matrix of beliefs. As far as, a person allows them to be. It doesn't mean having been gullible. Not at all. And if it turns out to have been incorrect, again, it doesn't mean you're being gullible to look into it. And it doesn't mean you just swallowed whatever you heard, hook, line, and sinker. In any way. It doesn't demonstrate an attitude of being a know-it-all. A person who says, I'm not going to listen to that bullshit, then they're kind of also somewhat implying, very tacitly implying that this other person thinks he's a know-it-all coming on with this kind of shit, trying to get me thinking. But I'll tell you, it's being much more of a know-it-all to say, I'm not going to listen to that bullshit. It's not real. It's not true. No. Who's the bigger know-it-all? So just be careful of this thing that you might think is healthy skepticism, constant doubt over new information. Everything in your belief matrix up to this point has come from outside sources. And it was new information at the time. And please remember that. You get along better with people. You get along better with yourself. You get along better with the world. Okay? If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, now's your chance. Go ahead and do it right now. That way you can at the same time activate the notification bell feature, and then just immediately below your media player window you will see the thumb up icon. Please click on that to instantly and easily share the joy of this channel with others. And finally, just a little further down in the video description area, you will find a donation by PayPal information. Please make a note of it. I'm Turk Strawman, current resident at Mind of Old Age. Be well.